I don't know why you guys are even going to vote. It's already decided.
Mhm.
Claudia already won, right? Do you remember when we went to Mexico City? Uh, that's when we realized who will be the next Mexican president.
Claudia, Claudia, Claudia.
¡Viva México! ¡Viva México!
Explain the audience what happened.
All right, so we were going to Mexico City. It was my wife's birthday. We're like, we've been wanting to go to Mexico. We talked to Mondo. He's like, yeah, I'll take y'all around. This is where I'm from. So it's like, oh, awesome, yeah. So we get there. We start driving into town from the airport, Mexico City, and Mondo's like, hey, y'all want to go eat? I love this place over here. What is it called? Cardenal or something like that?
Cardinal, yes,
Yeah.
is one of the restaurants over there, yes.
And we're like, oh man, there's lots of traffic. We can't even get into town. Like, we're having to pull these Fast and Furious moves, going like in reverse, doing the turns and stuff to try and get in and out. But it was blocked off. We're like, we don't know why.
Yeah, first of all, it was Friday, right?
Yeah.
And coming from the airport, we were hungry, and on top of that, there was a market on wheels, like those shops that they just
like
put
a
on the
pop-up shop, right?
Yeah, pop-ups, yeah, market, right? So with the all of the banners and everything, right? Like, oh man, and that's when we actually have to do. My mom did some moves there.
The maneuvers, right?
Fast and Furious, yes.
No dents though, so that's good. Well, so anyways, so we're like, okay, let's just park and we'll walk there. Well, as we're walking there, we like realize we're in the middle of a demonstration. There's people like with the dung dung dung, and people shouting Claudia, Claudia, and everyone's got their hats and they're waving the banners and stuff like that. We're like, what's going on? We didn't know, but there was apparently just this big rally for the future president of Claudia Sheinbaum going on. So
Yes, and basically we have to camouflage. I mean, to be honest, is that we are not following the politics over there, right? So,
yeah.
but it's like, imagine if you are like in a rally with 1 million people. I'm not kidding. I really think that it was between 500,000 to 1 million. It's hard to size the groups because again, it's just like a massive amount of people. Then it's like, man, we have to ask for some of these in that way. They look like we are part of the
to
crowd,
blend
right?
in a little bit,
To
right?
blend in, right? So then I asked a person, it's like, hey, dude, can I get your banner and your hat? And the guy is like giving me a face like GTFO, you know.
And then his friend's like, come on, give it to him.
He's like, come on, man. He's like, everybody was excited, right? Like they are like cheering for Claudia, right? He's like, yeah, give it to them, and it's almost like give him a zappe, right? Like a smack in the head, and they go, okay,
Right?
okay.
Yeah.
It's like they give the hat, they give the banner, and then we were like, yeah, Claudia, but again,
now we're really part of it. Yeah.
yes.
Before the
So,
crush
yes.
happened.
And by the way, this explanation is for my friends in Facebook. Israel, I'm talking to you, and Chong too, right? So I'll send you this link once we finish the pod. But basically, and Raphael, right? Because they're like, man,
the
and
list
I'll
keeps getting
explain you
longer.
what happened there. But let's finish the story on the rally. So then we go to eat, right? And then we start not hearing anything. Like we almost didn't hear like a noise or music or the band,
We're
right?
like, oh, it must be over now. Good. Yeah.
And actually, a lot of the people were just going to it's called the Zócalo, which is kind of the center and the downtown on Mexico City. And it's like massive. Like, wow, how are we going to be able to get out from this? And after seeing the news, they were just bringing people and people in buses and buses. They stopped the whole city.
Yeah.
And we were in the heart.
Right in the middle of it.
We were right in the middle of the whole thing. And that's when we realized who was the next Mexican president.
Yeah. With that kind of support that we saw there, we're like, oh man, no, this was already decided. Like that was a lot of people.
I don't think that is and again I still have a lot of friends, family in Mexico. They don't like that party. They feel that it's a very socialist party, that they have destroyed the country. And again, I'm trying to be very impartial, right? There, because it's always politics. Politics is like hard, like you can have an opinion one way or the other. Um, but I think that sometimes if you step back, I see it as a huge win, for ideas, for what happened to the country. Number one is it's a female. The first female that is a president in the country, right?
Presidenta.
Votes for women!
Presidenta. So that dude, that's a huge win. What's your take?
No, I love it. I mean, I think it's awesome. I think it goes to show that Mexicans are very open. It's not all about the machismo. They're very in favor of this. She was, I mean, I think previous to becoming the president, and by the way, I think she takes office maybe in October, I think. So she's got a few months until she does the transition. But she was the mayor of Mexico City, right?
I have no idea, man. I haven't even heard that. I'm not following it.
Yeah, so she was already kind of part of the government, and she's part of the same party that's currently in power, right? The
It's called Morena
party. Mm-hmm. Right. So she's Team AMLO. So a lot of people are saying they're going to kind of continue the same type of leadership that they currently have in place. And I think Mexico, if you guys are hearing about a little bit more about it in the news and the media, I mean, there's been a lot of positive press around it. I know the economy, at least from the outside in, seems to be improving. I think it's being projected that it's going to become maybe a top 5, top 7 economy within the next 5 years in the world. So, I mean, these are all great steps. They don't have the same type of, Mexico doesn't have the same type of debt that the U.S. has, right? We're adding $1 trillion of debt every 3 months in the U.S. Yep. And I think the finances in Mexico are pretty good. They've been pretty, have austere policies, but at the same time, they've been able to increase the living wage by 20% a year for the last several years. So they're doing lots of things right, at least from the outside, right? We're not living there, so we can't really tell. But, you keep hearing these things like manufacturing starting to go there. Tesla's building a factory. They've got things to take care of. Obviously, not everything's going to be perfect, but it seems like they're doing a decent job.
And I think that it's just the ideas between capitalism versus socialism. And there is this quote from Nassim Taleb that he says, you have to be communist with your family, like with your kids and your spouse. Then you are socialist with your friends. And then when everybody else, capitalist. So which it resonates, right? Like I cannot charge my kids just to have like. So I think that it explains very deep these ideas, right? So and I think that is politicians, they tend to go in other areas, right? So I can see some of these point of views from different people and why they get so upset when you're talking to them. The reason why I was mentioning the names in the beginning of my friends is because I posted on my Facebook, even when they were voting, it's like, I don't know why you guys are even going to vote. It's already decided. Mm-hmm. Claudia already won, right? And I actually showed the pictures of me celebrating Claudia. When I would know, once again, we just were
they're coming
there.
After you now, boy.
Bring it on. So, and everybody's like, oh, even comments to me like, I thought that actually you finished university, man. I thought that you were an engineer. And another one is like, oh, so disappointing, right? Like, it's like, bruh, it is, right? Like, I mean, you just accept it. I can tell you.
Another thing on Claudia, though, she's a physicist and she's a climate engineer and she's a Nobel Prize winner. Like, these are some pretty good accolades for the leader of your country, especially when you look at kind of what we're dealing with, right, in the U.S. And, I'm not saying, everything's bad, but I'm just, it's like, I think they're doing a good job, right? At least
I think so
optics,
too.
It looks good, right?
Yes. And I can tell you this, it didn't matter who will put there, they will put there. It's the thing is going to be socio-political, and actually, even there is going to be a lot of investment from other countries, including China. China
Mhm.
is going to put a lot of money through Mexico just to try to funnel some products, right? So once again, I don't think that it will matter who was there. Right now, as long as they just continue to execute, continue to work hard, they'll literally be started to become part of the 10 more wealthiest countries in the world.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think Sochil, the second place woman that actually was running, she's also an engineer, also. So I think they had some good candidates to choose from. And
Yep.
I know, no, you're never going to get everybody to agree, but it didn't seem like things were like going in the wrong direction. It seems like the current leadership had things going in the right direction, and this should be a continuation of that.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, still like all my friends in Facebook. I'm not gonna block you. Hopefully, you don't block me neither.
Well, on that note, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on ours. I'm looking forward to hear what Mando's friends have to say on Facebook. Hopefully, they actually comment on our YouTube. We love to hear from you and from them. And again, if you haven't watched our viral Bitcoin all-time high video, it's almost at 11,000 views. Go check it out. We've got a couple of others. We just released a brand new one that has our big friend Michael Saylor doing the big Lil Yachty walkout on stage, so you guys can see that. But that's all we've got for today. Vale.
Bye.
Bye.